All right, well, good afternoon or morning, everyone. My name is Christine Wansleben, and I am the chef and owner of Mise En Place Cooking School here in Richmond, Virginia. Quickly pivoted to offering a live cooking class via Zoom from the comforts of your own home. So I'm here in the Mise En Place kitchen, and it's really been a lot of fun because just like for today's class, we're able to reach such a broad reach. We have such a broad reach of people that we can all cook together. So we have California, we have Florida, we have Virginia, all on together, cooking together, not just next to each other. So for today's class, we're doing sort of a Latin themed class. We'll be cooking together as well as I'll be showing you different techniques throughout the class. Everyone has the agenda, so the first thing we're going to do is the Mexican corn salad. When I'm following a recipe, or if I'm making something at home, and not from a recipe, just from how I want to put things together, I always get my mise en place together. And mise en place is a French word that means all things in its place, or all things at your hand. So when cooking, if you have your ingredients chopped, prepped, cleaned, ready to go, ready to put in that pan, it makes cooking a lot easier. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a really easy technique of cutting the kernels off of a corn cob. So if you have a serrated knife or a bread knife handy, grab that. If not, a regular knife is fine. And I'm just going to take my serrated knife, put it right against the cob, and cut down. So I'm just cutting right into my container. I have my chopped garlic. So this is about 1 clove chopped garlic. I'm going to turn my saute pan on, about a medium heat. So I have gas downtown here. I'm going to put it on a medium high, like between a 5 and a 6, if you have numbers. And then you'll just want to add a couple of swirls of vegetable oil. And what the purpose of sauteing our corn kernels is that we want to get them a little bit charred. We're just going to add our chopped garlic, and then we're going to add all of our corn kernels. And we'll want this in our pan for about 10 minutes or so. So that you'll just want to leave in your pan. Give it a little bit of toss. All right, so you'll want to get out first we'll do the onion. Now, I know this recipe only calls for a half a cup of red onion, but we also need chopped red onion for our guacamole. So we'll do 1 whole onion, and again, this is thinking ahead. So we'll do one whole onion, half for one recipe, half for another recipe, and just make about 1/4 inch slices right down. The next thing I'm going to demo is how I dice a red pepper. Now I'm going to cut off the bottom. Okay, save that too. And now I have this, again, another flat side. Then what I do is I take my knife, I cut down one side and open it up. I open it up. And now with the pepper, I'll cut these into strips, and I'll do more 1/2 inch dices. Now that it's charred a little bit, I'm going to add my lime juice. I have 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So for the dressing, we need some non-fat plain yogurt, more lime juice, a little bit of honey, some paprika, and some cumin. And all you need to do is whisk that together. Once your dressing is complete, now we'll put the salad together. So get your bowl, get your serving bowl, whatever you're going to serve it in. You can add your black beans, okay? the chopped red onions that we just did. Get those in there. Chopped red onions, your chopped cilantro. All right, so I'm tossing this together now. Again, I have not put the dressing on. Now I'm going to put a dollop of the dressing, and you can dress it as heavily as you like. This is a great topping for the tacos or for carnitas. You know, this cream here is really nice to add. I'm gonna have this tonight. You can certainly just put some saran wrap, put some plastic wrap on top and stick it in the refrigerator until you're ready to enjoy. I made the slices, and then I'm just going to squeeze the avocado right out. And now this I'm just going to dice. So again, just like the red peppers, I cut this into strips, and then I turned it, and I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces. I have my garlic chopped, so I'm going to add to my bowl with the avocado. I'm going to add the garlic. I have 3 tablespoons of lime juice. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add my red onion. All that in there. Add my red onion. Salt and pepper. About a teaspoon of each if you're measuring. I'm just gonna. So now I am going to mash this. I have not yet added the tomatoes. First, I'm just going to mash this up. To the dish. You can always learn no matter at what stage of life you're in, right? Okay, so we have our onions chopped. I did the exact same technique that I did with the red onion. I cut the onion in half. I left the root stem in, the root on. I cut it about 3/4 of the way through. Quick cuts down, quick cuts down. And these, we want them to be nice and translucent. You'll want to have your chipotles, your garlic, your seasonings, which is I have my cumin and my cayenne all together, some salt and pepper, actually maybe just a little salt. And just have those ready. I'm going to add my chipotles. My garlic. And my seasonings. This would also be a fantastic base for rice. Now I'm going to stir in my tomatoes. So I have my tomatoes with the green chilies. I'm going to add those to the pan, and my 1 cup of chicken stock. If you don't have chicken stock, vegetable broth is fine too. Another great thing you could add in here is beer. You could add like a Mexican beer. You could do this with shredded pork. It's just a really flavorful sauce. You know, and I'm just going to pour that back in there. Oh, and it's this really pretty, like roasted, burnt orange color. I am going to add my pulled shredded chicken. Sauce really in there with the chicken as well. Let that simmer. While that's simmering, that's when you can put out all of your salad, your guacamole, your sour cream, your cheese, whatever things you want to put on top. Again, I have these great yellow corn tortillas, but you can use tortilla chips. So if someone wants to build like a nacho platter, this is fantastic on top of nachos with some cheese. But yes, for any of you who are ever interested in taking more of our classes, you could always go to miseNplacerva.com, and we have Friday night classes. And I hope you learned some things. You know, that's what our goal is, whether it's in person or virtual, that you come to Mise En Place, and not only do you have a good time, but you learn something new, so that you go away learning something that you didn't know before, whether it's about a tool like the avocado, the guacamole masher, or the tortilla warmer, or a technique like cutting an onion, chopping an onion, and getting the corn kernels off the cob.